Every Saturday morning, I pull into the driveway of Willow Creek Estates, a gated community in the heart of Oregon, to visit my grandfather, Henry Thompson. It's July 2027, and the neighborhood looks like it was plucked from a postcard. Perfectly trimmed lawns, gleaming mailboxes, and houses so pristine they could star in a real estate ad. But beneath the surface, this place is a pressure cooker. Faded shutters earn you a $250 fine. An unapproved birdhouse? That'll cost you $175. Every violation notice, every hushed argument between neighbors, every nervous glance toward the HOA office points to one person. Margaret Hensley, the HOA president who rules with an iron grip and a clipboard. At 55, she's the kind of woman who scans a neighborhood like a vulture circling for prey. And for 7 years, she's turned this community into her personal fiefdom, raking in over $18,000 in fines for infractions as petty as a car parked an inch off center. Hey, well, perfect timing. Just brewed some coffee. Grandpa Henry calls from his porch, his voice warm but tinged with the weariness that's lingered since Grandma Clara passed 2 years ago. At 76, he's still spry, a retired electrician with a sharp mind and a flannel shirt that's practically his uniform. "How's my favorite grandpa holding up?" I ask, pulling him into a hug. "Oh, same old routine coffee, crossword, maybe a little fishing if the sun's out," he says, his eyes crinkling with a smile that doesn't quite hide the loneliness. We head to the backyard, where his pride and joy, a 27-year-old fishing boat called Clara's Dream, sits moored at the dock he built decades ago. The boat's no showpiece faded green paint, a few dents from years of use, but to Henry, it's a lifeline to Clara. "She named it, he says, tracing the worn rail. Said we'd always have a good day on the water, even if the fish didn't bite. I still talk to her out there sometimes. Keeps her close. I gnaw my throat tight. Not crazy at all, Grandpa. She'd love that." The moment shatters with a sharp click of heels on pavement. Margaret Hensley strides toward us, her fake smile as polished as her clipboard. A neighbor, Tom Rivera, starts recording from his yard-smart move, since Margaret's presence guarantees drama. "Mr. Thompson, we need to discuss a community issue," she announces, her tone dripping with condescension. She gestures at Clara's Dream. That boat is becoming a problem. It's dragging down the aesthetic of our lakefront. My blood boils as she dismisses Henry's treasure like it's junk. Aesthetic. I cut in, stepping forward. "It's a well-kept boat with every right to be here." Margaret's eyes narrow. "And you are?" "Well, Thompson is grandson," I reply, holding her gaze. "This is an HOA community, Will," she says, her voice icy. "We have standards, and that eyesore violates them." Tom calls out, "Which rule, Margaret?" She snaps, Section 5.2, Visual Harmony. "That boat's a blight." I bite back a laugh at visual harmony, but hold my ground. It's a fishing boat, not a scrap heap. Margaret's smile tightens. "You'll get formal notice within 48 hours to remove it, or the HOA will take action." She stalks off, leaving Henry deflated. "Maybe she's right, Will. Maybe it's time to let it go," he murmurs. I clench my fists. No way is Margaret bullying my grandfather into giving up his last link to Clara. 2 days later, a $600 fine arrives for aesthetic violation. But as a land surveyor, I know how to read the fine print, and Margaret's made a fatal mistake. Buried in the HOA's 50-page rulebook, I find a gem. All fine revenue must fund community projects, approved by resident vote with just 7 signatures. Margaret's been banking on everyone's apathy, but I'm about to turn her own rules against her. I pay the fine, telling Henry, "Trust me, this money's about to do something beautiful." I spend the day canvassing neighbors, collecting stories of Margaret's tyranny. $350 for unauthorized mailbox flowers, $200 for a basketball hoop left out overnight. By evening, I have 12 signatures for a community project, a memorial plaque for Henry and Clara at the dock. At the HOA meeting, Margaret's confidence crumbles as I present the proposal. "Funded by the fine you issued to punish my grandfather," I say, watching her face pale. Neighbors rally misses. Larson praises Clara's kindness. Mr. Patel recalls her welcoming gifts. The vote passes 10-2, with Margaret abstaining, her power slipping. 2 weeks later, a bronze plaque reading Henry and Clara's Fishing Pier, a love eternal, is unveiled. Henry's tears fall as he touches Clara's name. She'd have loved this, he whispers. Tom's video of the event goes viral, hitting 300,000 views, exposing Margaret's overreach. But Margaret isn't done. 2 weeks later, she calls an emergency meeting, her eyes blazing with revenge. Her presentation screams safety concerns, with slides of boat accidents and liability risks. She proposes a rule: no watercraft over 12 years old at community docks, effective immediately. It's a surgical strike at Clara's dream. What safety report? I demand. Confidential, she snaps, but her lies unravel as neighbors question her. She's rigged the board, though, and the rule passes 5-1. The next morning, a tow truck arrives, and Margaret watches smugly as Clara's dream is hauled away. Henry, in his robe, looks broken. That boat was where I felt her, he says, voice cracking. I try to stop the tow, but Margaret's paperwork is airtight. When I shout, "This is harassment," she calls the police, painting me as a threat. Officer Daniels, clearly annoyed, says it's a civil matter. Henry waves me off. Let go, Will. I don't want you in trouble. Watching the boat disappear is a gut punch. IV failed him. That night, in Henry's garage, I kick an old box in frustration, spilling papers from a metal tin labeled Property Records 1964. Inside, a document stops me cold. Willow Creek Pond for .1 acres owned by the Thompson family since April 1961. The lake the one Margaret's been charging $90 monthly fees to access this hours. Tax records, surveys, water rights all confirm it. Margaret's collected $62,000 in illegal fees over 9 years. My lawyer friend, Ethan, verifies the documents. This is a bombshell, Will. You could sue for theft, fraud, or expose her publicly. I choose the latter. At the next HOA meeting, the room buzzes with anticipation. Margaret starts her agenda, but I interrupt, holding up the records. My family owns Willow Creek Pond. For 63 years. The crowd erupts. You've charged $62,000 in fees on our property, I say, as Margaret's face drains of color. Ethan backs me up. All verified. I reveal HOA financials showing $15,000 of lake fees spent on Margaret's own landscaping. Chaos ensues. Neighbors demand refunds. Board members distance themselves. You stole from us, I tell her. Return the boat, refund the fees, and resign, or face charges. Margaret storms out, but her empire's crumbling. Tom's livestream hits 15 million views. The next day, news vans swarm Willow Creek. Margaret's trapped in her house, dodging reporters. At Henry's, neighbors bring food, celebrating justice. Margaret, under legal pressure, personally returns Clara's dream, muttering apologies as cameras roll. All fees refunded within 30 days. She grits out, then resigns, her defeat sealed by 18 million viewers. Henry climbs aboard his boat, smiling. Feels like home. At the next HOA meeting, I propose deeding the lake to the community, renaming it Clara's Lake. The vote is unanimous, and 3 months later, Margaret moves away, her reign over. Clara's dream still sails every evening, a testament to love and justice. So what's the most outrageous HOA power trip you've faced? Could you forgive a bully like Margaret, or would you push for harsher consequences? Should communities ban HOAs altogether? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more stories of standing up to the system.